permit me to stand on the existing protocol. My name is Dr. Anthony A-N-O. We are discussing on how we will help our farmers cope with climate change. I think it's also important that we should also look at our farmers' production systems that contribute to climate change, because their production systems also contribute to climate. If we continue bringing out what they will do to cope with the problem they generate, the problem will continue coming up. We know that the issue of climate change is a continuous one. It can never be totally eliminated. So I'm thinking that we should also look at the production systems, the technologies that are being developed by the institute. You find out that most of the research institutes don't have a department of something that one could call Department of Environmental Studies or something, to check the impact of the developed technologies on the environment. Anyone carrying out studies on environment is just a kind of side issue. So I'm thinking that it should be a kind of policy that each of the research institutes should have a department that looks at the impact of the technologies on the environment. So that if we can accept that here, I think it will help our farmers. And in the case of what we have been doing in the institute, my colleague has talked about the development of drought-resistant varieties, cassava varieties. The institute is working on that. And also cropping systems. You'll find out that a crop, for instance, like a crop like cassava, yam, all these root crops, root and tuber crops, for the first 3 months of planting, the soil is bare, and during that time you have a high rainfall, and the tendency to encourage erosion is there. So we are looking at compatible crops. We've developed compatible crops that you can put in so as to cover before the 3 months that the root crops will now develop sufficient canopies. So we have a lot of cropping systems in that direction. We also have developed and are still working on salt-tolerant varieties of cassava. We know that as a result of this climate change, the flooding and then the issue of salt-affected soils are increasing. So we are developing salt-tolerant varieties of cassava. Then
sorry, sir.
Yeah.
You have them, or
they are still we are still developing.
No, we have few. What you say? We have few trials that potion such.
Yes.
Sometimes when you have some of these sun shop drinking salt water, so we are probably in some areas in Bayelsa where you are not getting saline soil before we are now. So we have started experiments with to see if we can develop varieties that can tolerate such conditions.
Mm-hmm. Is it just for cassava?
It's just for cassava presently.
No, we had one for cocoyam in Bayelsa.
Okay.
But we need to remember, we say we are not talking for the institute. We are talking as individuals. So we will suggest that area you should not record.